So come on, England, let's see if we can hold it out again. Again, it's Ronald Koeman. Again, the problem is there. Again, it's a critical moment. He's going to flip one now. He's going to flip one. He's going to flip one, and it's in!
I'm never going to watch that tape again. I've watched it 1,011 times. And how come David Seaman is the only man on the planet who doesn't know where that ball's going? I'm going to bury it in the back garden, burn it, because that was the moment that the dream died. England, along with Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, had joined that notable list of soccer greats. Gabon, Trinidad and Tobago, the Ivory Coast, all thrown into a trunk labelled not wanted on voyage. So whose fault was it? We don't care, we're not looking for scapegoats, all right? Graham Taylor. All we care is that we're not going to be at the World Cup, the greatest sporting event on this or indeed any other planet. So, who are the heroes of the World Cup? Well, there's the obvious ones. There's Pelé.
Rivellino, watch Pelé now. What a beautiful goal from Pelé. El Rey Pelé.
Yes, of course, Pelé. But he's a bit of an obvious one. For my money, one of the greatest of all World Cup heroes is this man. He's great. We'll be seeing more of him later. So, what about the villains? Well, surely at the top of anyone's table of villainy is Maradona.
And Maradona picks away through where there seemed to be none. And Shelton is beaten. It's Maradona's goal.
So, Maradona, a classic and an obvious villain. But, you know, even in the qualifying tournaments, we had our very own villains, as we've just seen. In the Holland game, we had the referee, we had Koeman, we had Seaman. But villains don't have to be footballers at all. They can be people who just wind you up. People like this man.
He's going to flip one now. He's going to flip one. He's going to flip one, and it's in!
So let's have another look at this terrible piece of villainy, OK? There's Koeman, in it goes. Yeah, all right, they've scored. But look at this Dutch supporter here, a middle-aged bank manager in his 50s in a trench coat. Look how he celebrates. Oh, look, nobody jumps up like that except Tommy stealing half a sixpence. Even the rest of the supporters are embarrassed. I hate him, look. Oh, look, we qualify now. We go America, see World Cup, not English people. I hate him, and the reason I hate him is because he's there and I'm not. I want to be standing there, jumping over the advertising hoarding, 4 foot in the air he is. Why can't we do that? And we'll start with the very first World Cup. Forget about the Lipton Trophy in Montevideo in 1930. The first World Cup that counts is 1966. Why? Because we won. England's first game of the '66 tournament was a very scrappy goalless draw. They then found themselves up against Mexico, and that's where we meet our first hero. Let's get him on. There he is, the Mexican number 2, Xerez. Let's see what he does. It's a very boring game. They're doing a lot of passing side to side, and suddenly Xerez thinks it's their home tournament. Come on, let's give them a chance. So he passes the ball to Peters, who gives it to Hunt, who lays it off to Charlton, enabling him to do this. Get in. Even David Seaman wouldn't have been able to stop that. So Xerez, a great hero of the '66 World Cup. But here's another one. This is John Kennelly. John Kennelly was England's first choice number 11. They weren't wingless wonders then. They had a good left winger. He played in the first game, didn't do very well.
I got 2 half chances. I hit the upright. I must have been desperate to score because I even headed one and never headed a ball in my life, you know.
So up he goes for this header. If this header had gone in, he'd have probably stayed in the team. No, top of the crossbar. He was dropped, Peters came in, we became the wingless wonders, and the rest is history. Captain Oates did it first, but he said, I'm going for a walk, gentlemen. I may be gone some time. He was left with nothing.
Except his tracksuit.
And I've kept hold of mine, really. You know, it's like, if I'm not going to get a medal, I'm going to stick hold of my tracksuit.
The great John Kennelly. Now, we've got another hero now. This is the French goalkeeper. His name is Marcel Arbour. And he's got an incredible goalkeeping style. Don't let's forget that this is the World Cup of Yashin and Banks. agility and positioning. But our ball style is much more French. Don't forget, they did invent diplomacy. What he does is if a man's bearing down on him, he just pleads with him. Come on, you don't want to score against me, surely. Let's have a little look. There he is. Oh, no, monsieur, you don't want to be doing something stupid like scoring the goal. Oh, yes, we've let him down badly there. His other problem, of course, was even as an international keeper, he didn't really know how heavy this ball was going to be. It looks quite light and balloony, but when you catch it, there's lots of kilos. I've got it. Oh, thought I had it. Didn't have it, obviously. OK, Argentina are coming. We're in the quarterfinals. And FIFA just do the most incredible thing. They bring in a rule change just for this one match. It's kind of the formative years of the back pass rule. Let me explain. It's very complicated. The rule is this. If the goalkeeper has the ball and lays it out here to a defender, if he then gives it to a midfield player, he must go forward. If he goes back, the referee has the right to send off the man standing nearest to him. It's the very, very unfortunate Antonio Ratin. Doesn't understand the rules. They're trying to have it explained, but no, that's the way it stands. You've got to go. Obviously, he's very, very peeved about it. There's the referee trying to explain, no, it's a new rule. I'm sorry, you just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but you've got to go. They're saying, well, we were all equidistant from you, perhaps we should all go. But in the end, it has to be Antonio Ratin. But there are heroes in this sequence. I want you to watch the bravest family in Britain. There's the dad, obviously giving the two fingers to Ratin. The son joins in there. And then the mother, yeah, go on, get out of it, you dirty RG. So poor old Ratin has to go. 66 was a big year for fouls. Ooh, little bit high, little bit high. Albrecht of Argentina, a villain. Maybe just a touch. But a hero coming up. Look at this goal from Vutsov of Bulgaria. What a great goal. Why aren't his teammates celebrating? What a great own goal. No pressure. Bang. And so it was on to the semi-finals, England against Portugal. And at this point, we were going to beat anybody, thanks to one man, Bobby Charlton. That was the goal that put us in the final. And for those two goals, Bobby Charlton gets elected to a very, very select club, the World Cup Hall of Fame. He is one of the great heroes of world football. So we're in the World Cup final, and I'll just talk you through the goals. Offside. Onside. Onside. Brilliant goal. Handball, handball, offside. Offside, handball, leg before wicket. This man, by the way, Weber, goes into the other end of the scale, the Hall of Shame. Because if you're 2-1 down in the last minutes of a World Cup final against England, to score is just vulgar and uncouth. So Weber, Hall of Shame. But he did, of course, give us extra time. And one of the most contentious moments in the history of football. There we have it. Geoff Hurst has hit the underside of the bar. Did it cross the line or not? Nobody knows. The referee didn't know. The photographic equipment of the day couldn't tell. What England needed was a stroke of luck, and they got it. I'm going to tell you a little secret. 12 minutes before kickoff, Bakhmarov, the Russian linesman, was taken ill, and he was replaced by a little-known Lancashire 1930s music hall comedian called Bobby Bennett, famous for his catchphrase, "Hey, come on, Jerry, stop the moaning." With his droopy moustache and his baggy pants, he saved the day for England. He's going to ask Bobby. Of course it was a goal, lad. Don't be so daft. So we're 3-2 up. The game's nearly over, but there are more heroes to come. Look, look. These three here. The three people that ran onto the pitch and gave us one of the great lines in football history. There are some people on the pitch. Now, we looked long and hard to see who these two were. We couldn't find out. But this one, he's slightly different, because he's actually not just running, he's taken up a position. We researched and we found out who it was. Remember John Kennelly? Played in the first game, then got dropped, sat in the stands with his muffler on and his brogues thinking, oh, brilliant, they're going to win the World Cup. And suddenly, it was all too much for him. He wanted a piece of the action. He belted down, he jumped over the fencing, and he's there. Look, Hurst going forward, and Kennelly is in position. Look, lay it off. Lay it off. He's even trying to get back on side, bless him. He's wearing shoes and a coat, but he still is conscious of the laws of the game. Unfortunately for him, Hurst, rush of blood to the head, 4-2, and Kennelly's moment was gone forever. 1970, wagon wheel, cup of tea, England against Brazil. Lots of heroes and villains.
Because Cardino, he's onside. That's a good cross ball, it's Pelé!
Gordon Banks, great save, hero.
Picking up the pace.
Tossed out elbow. Young Fashanu watching that, obviously.
On the England defense, Castello. And here's Pelé. Cardino, there it is!
So Jorginho scores, Brazil are a goal up. But let me tell you something about the Brazilians. Great side, silky skills, fluent passing, but dodgy defence. They're going to make a mistake at some point. And as long as we've got a world-class striker there to take advantage, we could pull this game out of the fire. There now follows, I have to tell you, one of the greatest pieces of World Cup villainy in history. Doesn't need any introduction, just watch it.
Really putting the pressure on as hard as they can now. Jeff Haskell is there. Haskell now! How did he miss it? Jeff Haskell!
Jeff Haskell, how did he miss that? And just incidentally, another hero here. And that is whoever it was in the press box who decided to pinch a woman's bum just as he was shooting.
Now, Jeff Haskell is there. Haskell now! How did he miss it?
Oh! Ooh, no need for that. But Haskell, how did he miss it? Look, let's have a look. There you go. Defender comes over. Makes a mistake. It's there. It's there. It's broken clear. It's on the penalty spot. He's positioned himself. It's his good left foot. Keeper's out of position. Whack. Straight, true, beats the keeper. It's going in. It's going in. It's going nowhere. One of the worst misses ever. It's tantamount to saying, hello, I'm Jeff Haskell. I'm just going to dip me wagon wheel in me tea. Oh. Oh. Missed again. Still, it must haunt him. The man must have nightmares about it, even now.
Jeff Haskell! An open goal!
I laugh about it now. I laugh about it now. I always joke and say things like, well, I had my bootlaces tied together, that was the trouble, or something like this. But same as I say, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'll say it to everybody who talks to me. It seemed to worry everybody about me.
Jeff Haskell! An open goal, and England players are absolutely thunderstruck.
They always talk about the misses and not the goals that you scored. I mean, they don't talk about 198, which I scored at West Brom when I was there for my 10 years.
Yeah, but that's because nobody cares about those, Jeff. A couple of sheet metal workers in the Midlands are probably saying, oh, Jeff Haskell, 198 goals he got for Yen Baggies, but we don't care. You're a villain, Jeff. So on to the quarterfinals. England against West Germany. And a great start.
Take his pass over us now. Run at it. Through ball for Marmalade!
Marmalade! Marmalade. That's what he said. Mullery's goal. Who scores this?
Back there by Roy. Good cross ball. And the far side is Hurst.
Hurst.
I see the left. Jeff Haskell.
No.
Martin
Peters, sorry.
Peters called it wrong.
No, Keith, well, somebody scored anyway. That's all that really counts. 2-0 up against West Germany. Game over now. They're not going to come back from 2-0, are they? Oh, he's gone down. No, he's injured, so he'll kick the ball out of play now to get attention. Kick the ball out of play, will he? So the coach can come on. No, he's going on it. He's having a dig, is he? Villainous goal, but 2-1, still no trouble, no trouble. Sailor, bald spot on the back of his head. Slid in, but we're all right now. They won't get another one. We've got LeBone and Bonetti in there, no trouble. It's come back, but LeBone's there, LeBone's, no, Bonetti. Villainous goal. Let's have, look, here we go, here we go. Look, ball comes over. Newton's beaten, that's fair enough. But LeBone, it's yours, Bri, it's yours. No, all right, never mind. Peter's covering, dive now, Peter, now. All right, now then. Horrible goal by a horrible player. The squat, bandy-legged Mr. Gerd Muller. So we're 3-2 down, but did you know this? Did you know we scored another goal? That game actually finished 3-3. Look at this. To the line. Lee keeps it in, keeps it in. It's a goal, it's a goal. And they disallowed it. They disallowed it for offside. Why? Official result, England 3, West Germany 3. That's how it stands. So with England out, the World Cup in 1970 belonged to Brazil. On to the final against Italy.
Rivellino, what's Pele now? What a beautiful goal from Pele! That's not a bad ball for Pele on the right side.
Have a dig, have a dig, have a dig!
And what a great goal that was!
So we didn't win, but we didn't mind that Brazil did. That was 1970.
All over the country, people are discovering a new power.
Throw! Oh, that was a whacker!
1974, and England were in the wilderness. We weren't in the World Cup finals, but no problem, Scotland were there. Strangely enough, they did start surprisingly well.
A lot of pressure at the moment. Jordan up. It comes for Lorimer!
Well, the keeper couldn't do anything about that one.
Hutch.
And simply chose not to do anything about that.
That's the fullback Nolino up there.
1-0. The situation here was to go through at Scotland's expense. Brazil needed to beat Zaire by 3 clear goals, 2-0. But now a new hero comes into play. Moitas, the Zairean defender. Brazil have got a free kick just outside the box, but the chances are they're still going to score unless you come up with a master plan. What can we do? Hold firm. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. No, they should have taken their free kick. They didn't. Oh, well, I think it's a bit churlish booking him. I'm elevating him to the World Cup Hall of Fame. So it's 2-0. They need a third to put Scotland out. And suddenly,
Rivellino.
we have a brainwave. The goalkeeper suddenly thinks, wait a minute, there are millions of Scots people watching this. Some of them might be scouts. I could get myself into a Scottish League side here. I'm just going to have to prove that I can keep goal just as well as any Scotsman.
Tried to put him through again. But Zaire have read those well and covered them very effectively.
Kazardi's got it. Oh, Kazardi slipped over.
Mistake by Kazardi.
The 74 World Cup gave us 2 new innovations. Firstly, a new trophy, and secondly, the introduction of yellow and red cards for bookings and sendings off. Look at this. Ray Richards gets a booking quite early in the game. Only for dissent, just kicks the ball away. Kicks the ball away, gets booked. No problem. Now we go forward. We're 7 minutes from the end. It's 0-0, and Australia desperately want the draw. Richards has got the free kick here, and he's wasting time. The linesman doesn't like it. He's saying that he's off the pitch. There's no need for him to be wasting time.
The linesman said to the referee, yellow card, and I thought then that there's no yellow card, the next one's a red. So with the incident being so close to the sideline, I didn't have far to walk. That was the main thing. If I did get the red card, I was close to the sideline.
But it is a yellow card. And suddenly Richards wants the game to start again very, very quickly. Now, come on, it's all right, lads. I've had a booking. Let's carry on with it. Let's carry on. Yeah, get out of the way. Come on, I want to keep this game flowing, please.
In some trouble, Richards.
And off they go.
We played on for about 5 or 6 minutes, I think, and then one of our players fouled a Chilean player. When he gave the free kick, the linesman signalled the referee to the sideline. And as the referee came over, I think you can hear the referee say, number 6, number 6. And the linesman said, yes. So he's come back to the field, and he's come to me and said 2 yellow cards. And I said, no. I said, I've only got 1. I said, Jimmy Mackay's got the other one. And I pointed to Jimmy, and all the players at this stage were starting to mill around.
Meanwhile, the Iranian referee is...
There's another villain coming up. A real villain. Because the one thing you shouldn't do in football is grass people up. Look at him, look! It's him, ref. It's him. The one with the Alan Sunderland perm and the bad moustache. Basically, the referee just wants to send anyone off at this point. But eventually finds Richards and off he goes. This man played 8 minutes of World Cup football that he wasn't entitled to. A superhero in the Hall of World Cup fame. What a difference 20 years makes. In 1994, they're villains for beating England, but in 74, the Dutch were the greatest team in the world.
He's all right for number one. Right in the middle, and he's
Right.
there. What a beautiful goal, 2-0. Johan Cruyff, the mark.
So, on to the final. And the dodgiest selection of haircuts you'll ever see. And love beads in the World Cup final. So, English referee Jack Taylor, first minute of the game, penalty to Holland. What more could you ask for? Absolute perfection. An Englishman at the top of his trade, doing his job. We're polishing up his medal for the Hall of Fame when suddenly Jack Taylor proves himself to be one of the biggest villains ever. Look at this dive coming up. Obviously, what he does now is book Halstenbein for ungentlemanly conduct and time wasting.
Well, did anybody touch him, I wonder?
I wonder.
That's a very, very debatable penalty decision, I would say.
But penalty it was.
This one for 1-1. He got it.
Paul Breitner in an afro wig scores. And then what happens? It's inevitable. There's no short, squat men there, are there, with bandy legs?
Oh, that's the way that little man gets them. That's the way he gets them.
Gerd Muller. He did it against us in 70, he did it against Holland in 74. He is elevated to the World Cup Hall of Shame, one of the great villains of all time. So 1978, no, actually this is wrong, this is 74, so it's the German victory parade, is it? Oh no, this is the Scottish victory parade that they had at Hampden before they went to the World Cup. They were so confident that they were going to do well, being drawn against Peru and Iran in the opening group.
Everyone, and I mean everyone, in the whole of Britain thought, oh, Scotland's getting a walkover.
Excuse me, no. I distinctly remember a conversation in my house that said Peru and Iran are getting a walkover.
But having been a manager all these years, and I think every manager would agree, when a cup draw, although it sounds great to get a minnow, sometimes these minnows can be the downfalling of many managers.
So they started off against Peru and started off very well.
Beatrix an early chance for Jordan.
Suddenly, the man of the tournament takes over. Teofilo Cubillas.
Shot and a goal. What a goal.
Great goal, and even better ones to come. Peru get a free kick. Macari and Gemmell, they've got the big men in the wall. Cubillas.
Here he comes. Cubillas
Yes.
drives it in, and it's a goal.
Brilliant goal.
Well, Cubillas, brilliant first goal for Peru.
And Alan Rough has to stand there thinking, not only have I been beaten by this man, I'm now showing the shame of my perm to the entire world.
Scotland in absolute disarray from that free kick.
His perm is just too heavy. He can't get across. So, it's on to Holland. They need to beat them, and it starts off just about as badly as it can start off, even for the Scots. Fouled him twice, just to make sure. Johnny Rep, 1-0, and suddenly, for no apparent reason, the Scots start playing world-class football. Look at this, Archie, 4'6" of sheer class.
And suddenly, the Dutchman hit this tremendous shot from the 20, 30 yards, and that was us out, really, on goal difference.
Ah, out on goal difference. Tough luck, lads. Oh, well, never mind. Now we have one of the great characters of any World Cup. The Peruvian goalkeeper suddenly realises that all the action's up here, and thus all the cameras. He's told his mates he's going to be on telly. Hasn't been on yet, so here he comes. There you go. I can play. Oh, stupid walk, booking. Thumbs up, that's all right. So Argentina now against Peru. They need to score at least 4 goals to get through to the final. They ride their luck a bit earlier on, but then they start scoring. Now, one thing you may notice here is the Quiroga, the wandering keeper we've met before, is having a mare of a game. He doesn't seem to be giving it... Well, he could have come out, I suppose, and dived at their feet, but he might have got hurt, and he seems to be a little less than interested in the whole deal. There you go. Well, I'll let that one go there. Ball coming in. Down he'll go, down he'll go. No, he just kind of flops about. And in the end, Argentina scores 6 goals. Now, we wanted to do an interview with Quiroga. He seemed like an interesting chap. We made him a hero earlier on, and then he played so badly here. We found out that he'd gone back to his hometown to attend a family wedding. They gave us the name of it, and we tried to look it up in a map of Peru. It wasn't there, but we did find it in a map of Argentina. Raymond Quiroga was born in Argentina, the Peruvian goalkeeper. This is like England are playing France. They need to score 5 goals. The French goalkeeper is a lad from Milton Keynes. Still, I'm not saying he didn't give wholehearted effort. I'm just saying he was South American, so maybe cheating took place. From hero to villain in one short step. On to the final, Holland against Argentina. Holland line up 4-3-3, Argentina 0-0-0. On the orders of the military junta, they haven't come out. They've decided to leave the Dutch waiting around just to put them off. When they do kick off, terrible lucky goal gives them the lead. And then on comes Laughing Dick Naninga.
And René van der Kerkhoff might be in. That looks useful, Naninga. It's 1-1.
And then another inanimate villain. Look at that. Oh, post. Put that post in the Hall of Shame. It's 1-1 and it's extra time. And you're about to see 2 of the chattiest goals you've ever seen in your entire life.
Tony. And the ball in for Kempes. Got a score. Youngblood has done it. And it's trickled into the net.
That's an appalling goal. You'd be ashamed of that goal on Parks football. And an even worse one coming up.
He's got the shot.
Here it is, look, Norman Wisdom goal. Oh, I don't know where it is. Oh, Mr. Grimstone! In the net. 1982, and we start off straight away with a villain, the Admiral England shirt. How could you hope to win anything wearing that? This is the red version of it. This is the squad, and amazingly, we started off like world champions. The first game was against the French, and less than half a minute had gone when Brian Robson became World Cup hero with a great goal. And then got an even better one. Look at this, look at the flick, look. Chigo! Great goal. We kind of blew it slightly with a goalless draw against Germany, which meant we now had to beat Spain, the host country, 2-0. So, off come Woodcock, and Ricks came as well, and on came Brooking and Keegan. Great players, world-class players. 1 goal scored, there you men. So, good ball through Brooking. Look at that, poised in the box, gonna score? Oh, great save. Lovely ball, Robson through, over it comes, who's in the box? Jeff Hassel! Kevin Keegan winning the Jeff Hassel Memorial Trophy for golden misses. Let's have another look. Open goal, twizzle of the palm. So we were out. The only consolation is we managed to offload 5 of those ridiculous shirts. Honourable mention now for Northern Ireland, playing against the host Spain, one of the shocks of the tournament. Hamilton goes through, crosses it over. Keeper doesn't clear it properly. Yes! 82, incidentally, was the debut tournament for this man, one of the world's great villains, Diego Maradona, who started off pretty quietly with a foul that was so bad it knocked over not only him, but also this bloke here. They both collapsed just from the weight of his challenge. Off he goes. There he goes, having his nits picked out on the way out. Here's another cheat, Paolo Rossi, banned for match rigging by the Italian FA, although they did commute his sentence by a year just so he could come and play in this tournament. This is Italy against Brazil, one of the matches of the World Cup. Let's have a look at the goals.
Still they come forward with Conte, who plays a very good ball for Cabrini. Useful looking cross, it's 1-0.
Oh, terrible mess up by the Brazilians.
Corner taken by Conte, a long and a high one. And the shot from Tardelli. Rossi's got a...
And a hat-trick from Rossi, the man who'd been banned. Semi-final, West Germany against France. It's 1-1 with a few minutes to go, and there's a one-on-one between this man Schumacher and France's Battiston.
Taking over and playing a great ball for Battiston.
And one of the most villainous fouls you'll ever see. Ignores the ball.
And it looks like a stretcher job.
It was indeed a stretcher job. At this point, we felt we ought to talk to Harald Schumacher and get his side of events.
Und wenn man in der Luft ist, kann man sich einfach nicht mehr festhalten. Der Zusammenprall war nicht zu vermeiden. Und wenn heute der gleiche Ball gespielt würde, würde ich genau wieder so handeln. Nur das, was unglücklich gelaufen ist, ist einfach die...
All right, that's just me mucking about. I'm putting words into his mouth. Go back, and we'll see what he really had to say about his attack on Battiston, and see if it's any more convincing than our version.
Und wenn man in der Luft ist, kann man sich einfach nicht mehr festhalten. Der Zusammenprall war nicht zu vermeiden. Und wenn heute der gleiche Ball gespielt würde, würde ich genau wieder so handeln. Nur das, was unglücklich gelaufen ist, ist einfach die...
Schumacher, villain in the Hall of Shame.
And Lopez, Tigana,
anyway,
just
everyone's
outside.
Behind France now. We're in extra time. Yes! 2-1. Brilliant goal by Trésor. The Germans are on the rack, and then the French hit them with this one.
And they've been very deliberate about this. Six for Giroud.
In off the post, surely 3-1. It's all over. France are through to the final. But what do we know about the Germans? They're chatty.
And a little chip in.
That's a goal scored by Rummenigge, who should have been marked by Battiston. Battiston should have been in there, but he's off the pitch. And they've done it again. They've done it to us, now they've done it to France. So for the first time ever, a semi-final in the World Cup is going to be decided by penalties.
Not quite sure how much advantage that is, but I suppose...
Schumacher, who shouldn't be on the pitch, should have been sent off, moves early, saves that. So this one to go into the World Cup final. And a silly little fat Charlie Drake lookalike, Rubesh, who Jackie Charlton always used to call rubbish, puts them in the final. So Schumacher and the rest of the cheating Hun were through to the final against Italy. We never thought we'd say this, but we wanted the Italians to win.
Oriali on the turf, it was Rummenigge then. In from Gentile.
1-0, brilliant diving header. Schumacher appealing for offside because he can't find anyone to punch. Tardelli! And here's Altobelli with the third.
And the chance for Altobelli!
Let's just have another look at Tardelli's. And one day I'll score a goal in a World Cup final, and that is how I'll celebrate. Manic, bulgy-eyed Marco Tardelli straight into the World Cup Hall of Fame. '86.
And Maradona handled the ball into the goal, didn't he? Didn't he?
First game against Portugal, we make two mistakes. Firstly, we pick Haitley, and secondly, we pick Haitley. And then we let them score. Terrible start for us. Against Morocco, there's one momentous occasion. This is it. The ball comes over, back header there, Robson goes down, not a penalty, but a recurrence of his dislocated shoulder, which he'd had for a long, long time. It meant he bowed out of the tournament. And then this happened, one of the great heroic acts of football. Ray Wilkins is in the team. He knows Robson's never going to have the courage to drop him, so he gets the ball and he chucks it. Not to, but at the referee. You see there? It comes down, it whacks him right on the shin. You could have somebody's eye out with that kind of behaviour, Ray. Ray quite rightly gets the red card. Covers his face with shame, but he's out of the team, and suddenly we start playing.
Gary Stevens. Lineker!
Yes!
For Hodge. Lineker is
Lineker again. Yes!
Fenech joining Butcher towards the near post. Winarczyk has misjudged it, and Lineker has a hat-trick!
Lineker a hat-trick, and surely a place in the World Cup Hall of Fame. Now an incredible foul, which you can't actually see first time. But they'll show it again. Look at this, look at this, look at that. Horrible, horrible Paraguayan man. But one of the most touching moments that I can remember in sport. You know, there's a lot of criticism of sportsmen and footballers in particular, but let me tell you this story. Alvin Martin, the old West Ham stalwart, he's got his summer holidays. He could be on a beach, he could go to a boarding house in Clacton, anywhere. But he chooses to spend his holidays at the World Cup finals, geeing up his mates, cheering them on. And he goes along in his replica shirt and his shorts because it's hot. He even puts his boots on. And when Lineker goes down injured, he's so upset that he actually jumps over the hoardings and comes down and comforts him. There he is. That surely is the only explanation for Alvin Martin being on a football field when England are playing. So there goes Alvin, back off to his seat in the stands. Lineker, of course, stayed on and repaid them. Yes!
Maradona picks away through where there seemed to be none. And Shelton is beaten. It's Maradona's goal.
Less said, soonest mended with that one. We know what happened. We know who the villain is. The villain's Maradona. But what about Hodge? What did Hodge think he was up to? Got to get this one clear. Got to get it clear. I'll just kind of toe poke it in the air into the box, shall I? And worse is yet to come. Even worse villainy. The most incredible example of crass villainy. Here we go. Down, there, round, round, down. 1, 2, another man there.
It's a brilliant run. It's one of the World Cup.
And goal. I'm not ashamed to say it. Good goal. Maradona's not the villain there. I want to show you this. Look what happened a little bit earlier. Maradona coming through, away from goal. Fenech! Straight in. That's his job. That's what he's paid to do. Whack Maradona any time he gets anywhere near him. So will anyone explain to me why, when he's faced with this situation, here we go, Maradona on the ball now. He's coming, he's going through. He's past one man, he's past another. We're in trouble. No, we're not. We're not in any kind of trouble, because there's Fenech. Here he is, and we know what his job is. His job is to kick Maradona into row D of the stand. Hang on, he's being a bit cagey. He's not going in too early. He seems to be spreading his left arm out for some reason. He's going to punch him. He's going to punch him. No, he's not. He's going to stand there like a piece of wet lettuce, let Maradona run past him, and just chip it in. Why?
Really, I felt at the time I've got to take the guy out.
Yeah.
I really felt that.
So
but
did we.
I'd been booked already. I wasn't quite sure where I was. I didn't know whether I was inside the box or out. And I tried to just put him off.
You tried to put him off? What do you mean you tried to put him off? And why are you worried because you've been booked? You'd have been booked again, which means you'd have been sent off. No one would have cared if you'd been sent off, Terry.
I put my left arm round him. But the guy's such a strong fella, he just brushed us aside. And he's gone on to finish the goal.
The guy's such a strong fella. Look, I put me left... By his own lips is he damned. I put me left arm round him, but he's such a strong fella. He never got anywhere near him, you Nancy.
People, whenever they bump into me, the first thing they ask is, why didn't you take Maradona out? Do you know what I mean? I have nightmares about it. But it's what happens at the time, and at the time, you know, for all I wanted to take him out, I felt as though there's a red card on the way here if I take the fella down, you know. Plus, I thought I might have been in the box with penalties. We couldn't afford to lose a second goal like that, I felt. But it's one of them decisions I've got to live with.
Sorry, Terry Fenech, Hall of Shame.
Just got back onside. Now Barnes with his first real run.
Here we go. We're going to get back into it, though. Yes! Goal! They're 2-0 up. We're 2-1. We're coming back, and we're going to score again now.
He's got the better of Enrique. Goal!
Just out of interest, the reason we didn't score that goal was perfectly simple. It was because Martin Tyler, the dope, shouted goal too soon, and the gods turned their face forever against us. Look.
He's got the better of Enrique.
Goal! Golden days they would be if we had scored, but we didn't.
Wrist again.
'86 was the year when villainous rolling came into its own. There's a good one, and here's a fabulous little reverse roll. Oh, don't touch me, you'll knock me back the other way. And also the sneaky dig was born. Look at this, he goes down, but he's not too angry, he gets straight up. All right, ref, don't matter, leave it. Pokes him in the eye, and the referee follows through. Now, this is terrible. This man is badly injured. The trainer should be on here. Look, he's rolling about. I'm in agony, ref. I think I've broken... No, got a penalty. Everything's suddenly sunshine and roses. So, the pointless final, Argentina against West Germany. Two teams we hated. Argentina took the lead, we didn't care. Then they went 2-0 up, we didn't care twice as much. But suddenly it got irritatingly exciting. The Germans pulled one back, then another. So now they've come back, it's 2-2. Surely they're playing for extra time. And they do the most amazing thing. Remember how the Germans have always played? Solid, rock-like reliability. Suddenly, coming from 2-0 to 2-2, they think, best bet, just leave one man back. Look, one man, all on his own.
And there's the reprieve for Argentina.
Argentina 3, West Germany 2. Nobody cares. That was 1986. 1990, full of hope. Good kit, great squad, brilliant songs. New Order World Cup songs straight into the Hall of Fame. Our opening match was against the Republic of Ireland, or as we lovingly call them, England B. Got off to a good start. Lineker kind of falls the ball into the net. So we're 1-0 up. It's a tough, tough group. 1-0 will do. What we need to do is just steal up the defence. There you go, Steve McMahon. Steve McMahon's coming in, batten down the hatches. The block's gone up now, boys. That's it, that's who you need. A hard man, no man shall pass. No one's going to get past McMahon, except Sheedy. Sheedy might, and Sheedy does. McMahon sent on just to block, lets it go. Steve McMahon, the first villain of the 1990 World Cup. Meanwhile, the Irish Republic were impressing the watching world with their brand of intricate skill, close control, and wonderful silky passing movements. Otherwise known as the big punt up the middle by Packy Bonner and Quinn sliding it in after the mistake. Now some more heroes, real heroes, who gave us entertainment, just as we like it. There's Voller. He's been brought down. Rijkaard's getting a booking, takes it like a man. Flobs in his hair. Look at Rijkaard's... And Voller can't believe what's happened. Goes to the referee, who thinks he's complaining about his roots showing through. So we carry on now. Rijkaard goes in on Voller again. Tweaks his ear. We all know how much that hurts. Tries to throw a chalk duster at him. Stands on his toes. So the referee sends them both off. Voller getting sent off for having his ear tweaked. And finally, Fay Nights, bags on, no backsies. Another hero here, Jackie Charlton. This is what he had to say about it.
Apparently he spit on him.
Yeah, he did.
That's what seemed to be. Yeah. And then he spit on him again. I mean, I would have said, if he'd have spit on me, I'd have chinned him.
Meanwhile, who's that over yonder? Still cheating. Maradona, look, playing handball. But don't worry, because help was at hand. Look at this, against Belgium, and it comes. Platt.
In there.
Yes! Instant World Cup hero.
A fantastic finale!
Great goal, instant Hall of Fame for Platt, and brilliant face, showing what it feels like to score in the World Cup. Off against Cameroon now. Bright start.
Everybody felt this was going to be easy pickings. Well, they know it's not.
Ball coming over, and the lovable underdogs a bit lapsed in defence. And we're a goal up. Everything's going to plan.
Miller, that's going to be a penalty.
And suddenly we don't like them quite that much. Oh, no!
Miller's up front there, the man who made us concede the penalty, and he's on again, he's put it through.
And now we hate them.
In the lead.
Hero coming up, Hero coming up. Penalty, referee, Hero, and there. Let's have another look. Not Lineker, he's not the hero, it's the referee in this. Right, Gary, you've got a penalty now. My suggestion is, you should kick it that way. A little bit lower than I'm pointing, but give it a try. And you, shut up. Quiet, everyone. Let's wait till Gary's ready. Lineker again. In he goes. In he goes. 2 bad tackles, 2 penalties we should have had there, but we're happy with one, and once more. The referee there to give advice. Gary, it worked last time. Try it just straight forward like that.
Lineker brought down. Done it once, can he do it again? Gary Lineker.
Bad penalty. Straight into the middle of the goal, but who cares? We were through. We were through to the semis, and we should have been through to the finals.
It comes clear to...
Who are we playing? Who else but West Germany?
Well, they're still getting treatment on the
And we
far
could have
side.
seen the greatest goal in history. Just that. That's all we wanted. And instead we wound up with this.
Marvellous curling free kick. Curled off and in!
Horror. Absolute horror. A nightmare of a goal, and possibly the most inopportune moment that you can imagine for England's goalkeeper to suddenly forget how to move his legs backwards. Peter, look, oh, my legs went, look, my legs went. My arms were fine, my hair was great, but my legs just wouldn't answer the call.
Sorry to see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Brian. I think we're playing
In towards Lineker. Can Lineker, will the bounce come for
Lineker,
Lineker?
Lineker, Lineker!
Look at the joy on the face of England's goal scorer.
So it's extra time. We're trying to get into the World Cup final. And if ever we knew that someone somewhere doesn't want us to, that was the moment. That's a goal, that's a goal. They crossed the line. They moved the post with a little trajector beam. Look at this. Gascoigne's got the ball, rides some very bad challenges from the Germans. And Berthold, look at him. Look, someone shot him from the crowd with a revolver. That's how badly injured he is. And what happens? Look, there's Gascoigne's feet, there's his. He never touches him. He does that, he turns his ankle like you do when you're running for a bus down Chiswick High Road. Gascoigne gets booked, but it's 1-1, and we're going to penalties. But Berthold, the top man in the Hall of Shame forever. So here we go, penalties. Well, it's up to you. You want to watch, you don't want to watch.
Save! Oh, no. Oh, he's missed it!
And now there's another villain. It's not Pearce, it's not Waddle, it's Franz Beckenbauer, the Kaiser. A man of such standing and dignity in the game, respected throughout the world, behaving like this. He's no better than the Dutchman in the trench coat. And who's this idiot here in the tennis shorts, look, with a false 10 on his leg? There he is, a big fat bloke going in. So, that was it. There was a final. Argentina played West Germany, but we're really not interested in that, are we? We can't show it under the international copyright laws governing horrible, spiteful things that we don't want to watch. Just in case you're not depressed enough, though, I want to leave you with this. It's from Italia 90, it's Egypt against Holland. The Egyptians play a ball through, man running on, Kermans pulls him down. Now, he starts pulling just outside the box, but he quite clearly goes down inside the box. Now, what does that remind us of? What about this? England, long ball, man running through, Kermans pulls, down he goes. Now, surely that's a penalty in any man's language. Maybe it's a sending off offence as well. Send him off, give a penalty. Unfortunately, the difference here is this game is being played in Rotterdam. So all he gets is a yellow card. Let's see what happens in Italy. Down he goes. Penalty. No doubt about it, no thinking, no consulting. You pulled him down, it was in the box. It's a penalty. That's the laws of the game. Let's have another look at that. The Egyptian penalty that they got for Kermans bringing somebody down in the box. That's all I wanted. Nothing big, just that, so that I could be the man in the trench coat, jumping up like Tommy Steele, clicking my heels together. I could do it, just so I could go to America, just so we could be in the World Cup. People will say to you at some point in your life, football, it's a funny old game. No, it isn't. The World Cup's not. It's just a game of heroes and villains.
We're not yet out of the wood, because Ronald Koeman is up behind this one, and what an iron it would be if he scored with this when he really should have been off the field. Going to flip one now. He's going to flip one.